point, so.
Okay.
Hi, everybody. It's Jenna Jetson. Jenna Jetson! I'm very, very pleased to have with you today and to introduce you to my other Jenny, the other Jenny Wesselman. Hi, Jenny. Hi.
Hello.
So I'm very honored and pleased to have Jen here with me today. She's the other Jenny that was involved in the incident. She was the infamous gal in the bathtub who, did a great job of alerting me to what was going on so I could stop this guy from opening the door. She also was brave enough to hop out of the tub and risk her life to let the SWAT team in to come and rescue me. She also was kind enough to let me use her condo and car when I was leaving my fiance that had become dangerous. And then she was also kind enough to let me heal in her lovely home right after surgery. So this is Jen. The world needs to know you. Thank you for spending this time with me. And yeah, it's just, casual. And then on the subject, so Jen has no idea what I wanted to talk with her about today. And
surprise!
Yeah, I think it's better if you just kind of have natural conversations instead of it being a little bit, kind of, I don't know, over-prepared, over-scripted maybe. And so one of the things that is kind of near and my dear to talk about as far as trauma recovery is, and the two things that I wanted to kind of get your thoughts on. I mean, you can talk about whatever you want to talk about. If you want to talk about the incident, that's great. You don't have to by any means. But there are two things that I wanted to talk to you about specifically. One is on the side of kind of this spirituality and healing side of the fence. I'm interested in maybe having, I'm trying to figure out how to bring forgiveness and a sense of spirit and spirituality to people who are a little bit uncomfortable because, if you get religion and God and all of those things, it can make some people uncomfortable who are stuck. And one of the things that I was interested in is when we went and visited Felix. So Jen had some deaths pretty close together a few years ago. And I took her to a medium in San Francisco that I had visited before. And I thought it would be good for some closure potentially for herself and for members of her family. And I think that for me, opening up the world to life after a bit in a comfortable way and exploring the idea, especially for people who are not religious at all or are out of touch with their sense of spirit, that introducing the conversation around a Felix might open people up to the healing and the forgiveness a little bit more than if they hadn't been exposed to it at all. Does that make any sense at all?
Yes.
Yeah.
It does.
So that's one of the things that I wanted to talk about is, did that experience help you at all? And, from the standpoint of people who were guilty about, surviving an incident, right? And maybe survivor's remorse, survivor's guilt. I was thinking that maybe bringing Felix on a show as well, and maybe talking with people might open people up to the conversation of everybody's okay in the afterlife. No one holds it against you. They want you to live your best life going forward. It's like, we're fine. It's okay. It's not your fault. We want you to move on with love. Might be a message for people who are stuck in their trauma, holding on to some of that. And so that's what I wanted to talk to you about. And then just the silent trauma. I think that, you've done an amazing job getting through it. And I think the only benefit that I've had in getting through our experience is that I had the physical trauma. So people asked me all the time and I could work out the narrative out loud and in my head, probably faster than maybe you could, because, you're walking around with all this internal turmoil, but you're normal. It's like a rape victim, right? It's like something happened, but no one's asking you, hey, why are you on crutches. So.
Yeah, it's interesting. That is true. So that's definitely, I think, something to talk about. Really, is that there's trauma on the outside, and then there's trauma on the inside, and outside, as you indicated, I think makes it easier for you to talk about more often because people see it, and you have lots of opportunities to have conversations about what happened. As you said, the narrative. I, on the other hand, haven't really had a whole lot of experience talking about it, or other than with, close friends and family members, and a few media sources, that sort of thing, but not frequently. Yeah, it's interesting.
So, do you think that talking to someone like Felix helped? Well, first of all, how did it help with the closure of your brother and your granddaughter's dad? How did that help? How did having a conversation, how did it affect you? How has it affected you?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. So my experience with Felix was on, at the least part, an acknowledgement of things that I already knew and were aware of, and had consciously made a choice long ago that were possible. So, and at best was some clarity on a lot of things that, again, many of them I already knew. Some of them I didn't know, but many of them I already knew. I had some feelings. I had some my own experiences, spiritual whatnot, that really kind of had me, I suppose, a deep connection with the other side already that I thought was probably there, but just didn't really dive deep into. I was very careful. Still am very careful, but now it's pretty kind of opened a door, I suppose, and allowed more of that into my life than there was then.
So and would you say that that's a sense of spirituality or spirit? I mean, how I kind of described you in an earlier session, right before when I saw if you were available earlier today, was you kind of come from a long line of kind of mountain spiritual kind of warrior type folks.
Yeah.
That you kind of have medicine man or healers in your past, right?
Yeah.
Folks. So you kind of come from that, and your level of woundness doesn't come across as confrontational or too strange or out of the ordinary. And you help people in your own right because you kind of have this strong sense of healing, and you're able to live in the moment, which I think is very, very helpful, especially when you're dealing with a trauma, to kind of compartmentalize, or just be able to really find the light and the bright in your moment, and focus on that.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think I had a pretty deep sense of spirituality before all of this because of, as you indicated, my past, my ancestral roots, I guess you might say, coming from generations of healers and woo-woo people. I think with this experience, I have probably grown more. No, I definitely have grown more. I've evolved. Actually, that's a better word instead of growth. I would say I have evolved more and have had a lot of deep inner work actually happening since the event, more so than there was before. I had a long conversation with my father before his death about some of this stuff that's been happening to me, and got some clarification from him as to where that came from, kind of more background from him and my aunt prior to his death. And it was pretty mind numbing in the beginning, but now more so, I think, than I am realizing that that is part of me and that's who I've always been. And now it's not just a matter of acknowledging it. Now it's a matter of embracing it and figuring out where this fits in the world, which is what I've been working on is, what's the next step? What is this? And that's where the involvement or evolving comes from in that respect. So,
yeah.
And being able to compartmentalize was definitely something that I've been able to do for probably a long time, which in retrospect has saved my life on many occasions in my past from various traumas before. But in the event itself, I think really, I would say had a shadowing effect in that. And now has really opened a door, not just a window where I had like a peek inside before. Now it's the door is wide open, and now I'm experiencing what that really means and what it looks like and what it can look like and what I can look like, and being a better human from all of this. So that's the best part.
Yeah, that's huge. And how would you, what would you recommend? So if you're a person that has experienced some kind of traumatic event and you come away with it without any kind of battle wounds for people to talk to you about, right? What do you recommend for people? What really worked for you? What tips can you give people who are feeling like, I witnessed this event, but it's like, I feel alone, I'm forever changed, but I feel like I'm alone in this and I don't have anybody to talk to, or maybe I don't feel like I should be talking to it because it didn't really happen to me anyway. I think that that's the group of people that really needs to be addressed and have a voice.
Mm-hmm.
So what if you learned, what would you suggest to people who are stuck or feeling that, guilty that they survived something? And
community, first and foremost, having people around you that support you and that you can talk to. I journal a lot. I've been a journaler for a long time, but this has been an amazing time for me to be able to get a lot of feelings and thoughts out on paper, and to not internalize it, but to more like externalize it through writing.
Well, here's a podcast for you. So there you go. No, I get
it. Yeah. So it's interesting, but I think having a community of people around you is huge. Having friends and family and others, if you're a spiritual person, wrap yourself around all your spiritual people, your guide, your whatever, and embrace them, because stepping into being open for that is big, especially for many who are loners. Think they can do this all on their own. Like, I'm okay, I'm fine, don't worry about me. And that may or may not be true, but I think having the support of others around you while you're going through things like this or whatever it is you're going through in your trauma, but being supported is very big.
Yeah. One of the things that I'm trying to talk about overall right now is, everybody's been stuck at home with shelter in place, and, traumas have been happening, and, kind of, we're all in a little bit in the same boat right now of this, the world has forever been changed. People are going to have to get back to work. Maybe people are feeling more isolated and alone because no one's really been reaching out for them, even though you've got a Facebook friend list of, 300 or 400 people. How many people have called you and been like, hey, I just wanted to hear your voice and check in? And I think there's, I've seen some chatter that people are really feeling lonely, that they don't have that connection of people.
Yeah, no, definitely reaching out. Is a big like I said, community is probably
Yeah.
the first and foremost. Even if you're a loner, you need people around you to support you who can be there for you, because um, doing it alone is possible, but I think doing it with others and having that support system gives you that stronger balance, that concrete on the floor, so to speak, um, foundation for lifting you up and getting you through the tougher times, the ones that seem like there's nothing going on, but in all reality is you are in a really low spot. So
Yeah. Yeah, I've been playing a game ever since this all happened, and it's the game of yes. I say yes to absolutely everything. Anything that people offer me, I just say yes.
fun.
I just say yes, right? And it sounds like a big gesture, but people don't offer a lot of stuff all the time. So when they do, you should take them up on it, right?
Absolutely, I agree. I definitely agree with that. There's I don't know. We're in times right now that the entire world is going through a very large growth period. I would say. I think we're going to be outgrowing a lot of things that we have been accustomed to, and growing into things that I think are far deeper, far more connected. And this is this is this is the storm before the storm.
Ooh,
Storm before the storm of all storms.
really?
Yeah, and
Wow, you heard it
that,
here.
yeah, the storm before all storms. But I think we as a society are going to be so much better off. And I'm looking forward to it, in all honesty. And I think a lot of the people in my community, my spiritual community, have been experiencing this for quite a while before COVID and all of this happened, is that there has been a big shift. And in this big shift, a big change needed to happen. And didn't know it was going to be like this exactly, but we never do we?
The
So,
global healing. Yeah, you think it's Mother Earth just saying, okay, yeah, everybody's smacking everybody upside the head.
yeah, this isn't just a city. This isn't just a state. This isn't just a country. This is the entire world. And if this is a wake up call, not if, this is definitely a wake up call. And I think it's awesome. I'm looking forward to what's to come, and being a leader as in this whole journey, leading
Yeah.
people along to bigger and better things.
Yeah, I agree. One of the things I like to think about is, you know, for people who have gone through a traumatic situation and have been blessed enough to survive it, or maybe other people didn't, that it's kind of a wake up call in your life. If you use it correctly, it should be a wonderful wake up call. And, you know, I think so many people who are living their day to day lives waiting for some kind of sign before they take action in their own life or figure out what it is that they want to do, or what makes them happy, or what their overall contribution is to the world that makes them special.
Right.
You know, if you ignore these signs and just go back to your regular life, I don't know what else you're waiting for.
Right, which is, I think that's what this is all about. Is there is no more waiting, that we must react, or no, we must act, not react. We must act accordingly, and this will set your pace in the world for what's to come.
I hope
Where do you
so.
want to be? Do you want to be on the front line? Do you want to be in the
Yeah.
back? I mean, you're going to have to step your foot in and make a decision. That's what we're doing right now. That's the push that's happening. Is you're going to have to step your foot in and decide where you're at.
What do you believe in? Who do you want to be? Everyone's sitting at home on the sidelines watching the world unravel around them. And who do you want to be when it's all over with? Are you going to comment about it, or are you going to get up and take action? Because sitting around, everybody's a little bored of that right now. And
Mm-hmm.
we need to be the change that we want to see.
And that, I think that's the awakening that's happening. I think those people that are feeling that are the awakening.
Uh-oh.
That feeling.
Oh, you're freezing a little bit.
What's that?
I said you froze a little bit.
No, that was me. Sorry, Tom's doing some construction downstairs. He doesn't realize I'm on a Zoom meeting.
Oh.
And I have the door open because it's hot. Anyways, so there's an awakening happening, and many people are feeling it. Many people have been feeling it for a long time, and like I said, I can't wait. Really can't wait.
Yeah. Well, I'd love to come and see you. So you're and tell everybody where you are. Tell everybody whatever.
I'm in Austin, Texas.
And how long have you been there?
I've been here since October, and I'm formerly a Washingtonian, where it's quite cooler. And this is a whole new weather system for me to experience, but lots of fun. We've been having a lot of storms here lately, and I love storms. Tom and I both love storms, so we've been enjoying those immensely.
So people in Austin, you know, whenever Californians relocate to a different state, they always get a bad rap, right? Especially when they start flocking in numbers. So living outside of Seattle, right, Californians migrated up there and you saw the change. And so now you move from Washington to California, from California to Texas. So my question I want to know is, when you tell people, new people in Texas, do you tell them that you moved from California, or did you tell people that you moved from Washington?
Well, I give that same spiel I just gave. Well, I'm originally from Washington, but was in California for a couple of years prior to moving here. So making my way down south.
Got it. Got it. They have a saying in Texas that I love. I'm going to butcher it, but it's something like you know, it's not your fault you weren't born here. You got, you know, you arrived just as soon as you could, or something really cute in Texas like that.
I have to find that. I love it.
Really cute. God bless Texas. Yeah, it's like, well, you know, it's not your fault you're not from here. Lord brought you here just as soon as you could. Something like that.
Oh, I thought you were going to say keep Austin weird, but now they're all saying it's weird enough.
Weird enough. Yeah, weird enough. Well, thank you for your time. Yeah, I mean, I think this is great. Thank you for your time.
You're
I think
welcome.
we covered it. Yeah, being the quiet victim, and then sense of spirituality, I think, forgiveness, and knowing that there might be something else out there. So if people want to get a hold of you later on, do you have any information that you'd like to share?
I am, let's see, my probably the best way to reach me is by email at Jen, Jenn Wesselman, Wesselman @gmail.com.
Okay, there she is.
And I would love to hear from you, your experiences, your thoughts, your stories, what you've been through, how it's changed you. That'd be great.
And do you have something, are you on Facebook? Do you have an open Facebook page, or is it closed?
No, I have a public Facebook profile.
Would you like to share that, or no? That's a no.
Yeah, I don't think I'm ready to share that. You can find me at Your Life Empowered with Coach Jen, though.
There you go. That's what I was looking for.
Your Life Empowered at Coach Jen. That's my page. It's been around for a long time, but I'm still active, and you're welcome to find me there also.
There you go. That's the one. Okay, awesome. Well, thanks everybody. I appreciate it, Jen. Thank you so much. Kisses. Don't go anywhere. I love you. Jenny Jetson. Bye guys. Thank you.